What's up, nerds? What's up, nerds? Goz Master here with another Magic the Gathering puzzle quest. Today's quest, Kiora, Sovereign of the Deep. This 15-mana masterpiece, blue-green, is absolutely broken. I'm going to feature her. I'm going to show you two ways to be able to play with her today. A fair way and a completely busted, broken way that you may have already seen the one OTK video that I just posted a minute ago. It's a turn one kill and an OTK. And typically she takes about 2 turns to win when you play it the broken way. But first, let's play it the fair way. So Kiora, Sovereign of the Deep, 15 mana, legendary, vigilance, ward, 4/5, blue-green, merfolk, noble. Ward, drain 7 mana from your hand. Your opponent needs to do that to be able to target her with spells. When you cast a Kraken, Leviathan, Octopus, Serpent, or merfolk card from your hand, fetch the first card with lesser mana value from your library. It gains full mana. Now read the wording there. Fetch the first card with lesser mana value from your library. It gains full mana. So whatever's on the top of your deck should be the lesser mana, correct? However, it's not the way it necessarily works. I'll talk about that here in a minute. Of course, we're going to run Blade Quill Serpent because it's a serpent, so that works well with it. If you don't have Blade Quill, any other serpent will do. There's plenty of them, Leviathans, Pauper versions. One of my favorite creatures that's a Kraken Horde that falls into this category is Hullbreaker Horde. I'm going to be doing a full spotlight on this within my Peasant build. 19 mana, blue, 7/8 Kraken Horde. Can't have its mana drain or raise. When you cast a spell card, return a random opposing creature or support card to their opponent's hand. It's a nice way to control if you're behind. Put it out there, cast some spells, remove all their stuff from the board. Except for Vanguards, it will not affect Vanguards, and other than that, you get to go to town. Acquisition Octopus. Yes, Kiora works with supports that have the Octopus or Kraken or Leviathan or Merfolk subtype. This essentially does a thing. It doesn't matter. We don't really care about the creature. Although I will say this, if this token comes out early from the Octopus acquisition, you can use it to target with Cut Your Losses, so you can keep your loops started and going. We're going to fuel this with Meeting of the Five, Tameo, Broker's Charm, Cut Your Losses. C-Double is absolutely one of the most powerful cards from the new set, 12 mana. Beginning of your turn, basically duplicate a card on the board if your hand doesn't have something with full mana as it is, and then Tainted Indulgence to get us some more free stuff. This is a mono blue build, so I'm using Teferi Temporal Pilgrim, not because he's great, but because he's mono blue, and I can demonstrate that it's the deck that works, not necessarily him. Here we go. Alright, so first things first, very easy. With Blade Quill Serpent, you just empty your hand, and then you want to match some black into blue, or blue into black. And we can do that there. Let's see if we get enough. Boom, I think we will. Turn one. Excellent. Oh, I wanted those blues not to match. That's alright. We're going to empty their hand. We're going up against Kazmina, really the strongest green creature in the game, in my opinion. Let's see. So that empties that hand. I draw another card. That ditches. Whatever. Okay, here we go. They got a 5 match. Do they take it? They don't, but they break it, which is weird. I have another 5 match. I want to get Kiora on the board, so let's try that first for the red. Boom. We have a loyalty match. Boom. We don't have room in hand, so we'll ditch you. We'll use our first ability. Draw a card against 5 mana. I like that because it gives us some blue and an opportunity to do some things. Now, Kiora triggers actually on her own triggering, on her own enters battlefield. So that's great because then in her case, we're actually starting to get the benefit right away. We actually want to go here. Look at this. Boom, boom. Match. And we're going to get that blue to go off. We're going to go ahead and kill our own serpent here because we want more mana. And thus the combo begins. So she came into the battlefield. You saw she triggered her own thing. She triggered her own ability. Now we just go ham. I mean, it's really what it is. Blade Quill comes in because we use black and blue. We not only draw the cards, they get the mana, but we also empty their hand. It's a nice form of control. Blade Quill is so broken. It is such a busted, overpowered card. Since they don't have anything on the board, we can target our own Leviathan. And just, I mean, he's going to come back out. He's not hasty, so it doesn't really matter. And we just keep the combo going. Cut Your Losses and Blade Quill. Just pretty much a combo all on its own, right? Let's just enjoy. And you can see now we have that token out there, that creature, so that if we do cast another Blade or Cut Your Losses, we can use him as fodder because he's 2 power. He's strong enough to be targeted with the casualty from Cut Your Losses. Ooh, not enough to trigger it. That's okay. Now what we'll do is, since we have 2 of those ready to go, I will go up here. We will do the 5 match. Boom. We will cast our blue spell, cut your losses. We will trigger and cut. And it's important that you're killing this guy and not letting him have a chance to do anything else, because he's going to be replaced automatically anyways. You don't get the option to choose whether he's replaced or not. He just goes away. Now that we have Tamio on board, she's got full power. She's going to be able to fuel her hand. We're basically in full control here. We're going to win the match. That's a loop. Let me skip to the end. There it is. Game. So that's the fair way to fight with Kiora. Kiora just brings all the creatures to the yard. It's very powerful. This next way is just stupid. It's just stupid. All right, let me show you. All right, warning. Before I start showing this, please don't be mad at me, because I didn't intend to find this as easily as I did. I just went through an entire rabbit hole, because the spell Serpentine's Ambush is still considered a serpent spell. So it doesn't trigger Kiora. However, it does give the creature that you put that spell on serpent subtype till the end of turn. So I thought, why not use that to bring another creature that's not a serpent, kraken, or leviathan by proxy, make it one, and then use it. It's a neat little combo. It's fun, janky. It wouldn't play well in tournaments, but it'd be a fun thing to do, right? So Kiora, Blade Coil, of course. And I thought, what's best to turn into a serpent and then use their abilities to go crazy with would be Rocco. After testing it for a bit, I'm like, it's kind of clunky. It was a little too clunky and unpredictable. Let's just see what happens when we have Rocco, and we go from there. So Acquisition Octopus, Meeting of the Five, pretty much the same build. Broker's Charm, Tamio. I mean, really, the rest of these cards don't even matter. And then Joda the Unifier, but you don't need this. Here's a look at the deck. Click. And I'm using Teferi Akosa of Zalafar. Let me show you what it actually does. All right, so this combo is really dumb. So let's do this. I actually just need Rocco. So the combo is I just empty my hand. I get Rocco Cabaret ready to go. I just got to cast him. That's all I have to do. And I would prefer, like most people would think, oh, you want to match blues for your, if you go fetch Blade Coil. I actually want to get red. I want to get red mana so that I can power up my Blade Coil and make him stronger when he enters play. You'll see. There's Kiora, but we don't need Kiora. Here, boom. That's 9. We got to get to 15 at least. All right, is there a red match anywhere? No, there's another Cabaret though. I'll leave that, and I will go black. Boom. Another black match. All right, so when this enters play, so he's going to come into play. I'm going to go get a Kiora. Now, Kiora by default, when she hits the board, she's automatically going to pull Rocco. Full charged, and I don't know why. So even if Rocco only has 15 and Blade Coil costs 16, it doesn't matter. Just get Rocco on the board. Fetch Kiora. Kiora hits the board. She automatically pulls Rocco full power. Here's what's even worse. Now I go get Blade Coil. Now I didn't do any blue, but if I did blue, it would have fueled my hand and given those mana and filled it up. Doesn't even matter. I don't need it. When I get Blade Coil and he hits the board, he automatically pulls another Rocco. And Rocco's full power, and then I just wash, rinse, repeat until I have a strong enough creature to go swing for 127 points of damage in one turn. That's it. That's all that it requires. Yeah, this is awful. And what happens, guys, if I make a mistake and I pull another Kiora? Well, that's a good question. If you make a mistake and pull another Kiora, it doesn't matter. It automatically pulls Rocco. So here's what's really worse about this than Dani-Boss. Dani-Boss, at least, if you had multiple creatures, Greg would pull a different creature from time to time. So if this only worked with Blade Coil, well then Greg could mess it up. Greg can't mess this up. No matter what creature he pulls, it's going to fetch another copy of a full Rocco. Here's the thing. If Greg matches red to make this trigger happen, Blade Coil gets bigger. He gets a buff, so he doesn't need 2 turn cycles or 2 loop timers in order to get big enough to strike face. But why this is worse than Dani-Boss is Blade Coil has haste, and as a result, he gets to swing turn 1. You don't get to go again. You don't get a secondary chance. You don't get an alternate. Turn 1, he's swinging face, right? And that's that. If he stops a loop, and this is what Greg does, right? This is the power of this. then what happens is that creature is big enough, and you got that one turn to have to remove that from the board, but it doesn't matter, especially if the loop timer stops and they have a full creature in hand. So I'm going to move this blue in here. I got 2 shots at red. Let's see if I can do it. Let's see. Come on, RNGs, gods. Nope, you get nothing. So I can continue to do the loop. I grab him, it pulls it. Because I got blue, now it's going to fuel the hand. It's going to draw all these cards. It's going to give them all mana. I mean, this is just ridiculous. They get more than enough mana to trigger. I did black in the meantime, so I can do it again. And I just keep pulling, and I can cast these cards now. It's just, it's just disgusting. I don't need to do that because I already got all the triggers for it. Yeah, no, I'm not going to do that. Yeah, and it just continues to go. Now, if you want to stop the combo a little bit quicker, say not now for Rocco. Just keep saying not now, and eventually it will stop. Okay, we got 1 extra swap. We're going to say no to all these things. You can use your abilities. I mean, you can do whatever you want. And then if you have Tamio on the board with enough of them, then you have full mana. I'm not going to do that. Yeah, this is broken. This is absolutely broken. I'm sorry, people. I truly am sorry. I really am sorry that I unleashed this. So, my friends, if you have Kiora and you have Rocco, and you have a Hasty Serpent, I mean, really, if you Blade Quill, those are the 3. If you have those 3 cards, essentially you're putting together a 1-turn kill. And all you need to fire it off is Rocco goes first, or Kiora goes first. Kiora automatically pulls Rocco. If you have Rocco, you can go fetch Kiora. That's who your first fetch is. Or if you start off with Blade Quill, you draw typically into the cards you need with enough blue mana on hand. Those are the 3 ways that you could start the combo to win. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Now, obviously, Kiora is not working as intended. This is not the way she was designed to work. So this is actually a broken combo that is not as intended to work. There's no reason for Kiora to pull Rocco this way. So it may be patched or fixed at some point in the near future. So, but if you have them now, this is absolutely a ridiculous combo. It's worse, in my opinion, than Dani-Boss because you get no secondary turn to figure it out. That's just it. You lose. You lose. So you can run this combo in green-black, green-red, green-blue. You can run this combo in blue-red and blue-white. Is that all 5 color combinations? Oh my gosh. This is so diverse. This is so broken. So broken. The rest of these are the only 3 cards that matter. I know it's a Mythic, a Masterpiece, and a Rocco, which is an uncommon, but goodness gravy, that is just busted. All right. That's it, my friends. Comment below, subscribe if you aren't already, get in the Discord. Let's go break this card as much as we possibly can so we can get Oktagon to change this, because this needs to go. We're going to run into this as the sets move on, as we get more and more players that pull this card. The catalyst is Kiora. More and more people that pull Kiora that maybe have slept on it. Like, I had this card for a while and I hadn't played with it because I thought, oh, it's kind of janky. You have some fun with it. There's some neat things you can do. But then I figured out the Rocco thing, and yeah, I'm sorry. As always, my friends, I appreciate you. Could have been anywhere in the world. You chose to spend the time with me here. Like, subscribe. If you got some value from the channel, it's appreciated. Get into the Discord so we can go discuss and figure out all the different ways we can break this combo. Until our next quest, my friends. Oh my God.